All right, so where we last left off was Senku had won the bout arc, and he had been promoted to the chief of the village. And to all their surprise, including Senku, he was like taken back by it. And so there was some major revelations in that bout arc as well. Ruri had told Senku like she knows who he is, she knows his last name and all that. And then secondly was the fact that Senku won. And so all these major revelations are going to happen these couple chapters. So when the chapter opens up, Senku surprisingly accepts to be Ruri's husband. He's like, okay, I accept to be her husband. This is, of course, just so he can get the booze, because once he obtains the booze, once he obtains the booze and Ruri tries to talk to him, like she instantly gets sick, like she's on her last legs. And thank God that we have this booze because time's running out. Like, Ruri's going to die very soon. And so, hilariously, while this is happening, while she was weekend, Senku announces, hey, Ruri, I want a divorce. And the whole village is shocked. They're like, what? You can't divorce her? There's never been a divorce in this village. And it's great because we know that Chrome wants to be with Ruri and Ruri wants to be with Chrome. They want to be together. And there's some hilarious gags from the old man Kaseki, which I think was like the craftsman guy, and then Kohaku and Suki. I still haven't watched the anime yet. But yeah, and one of the gags is like Senku waking up Chrome. He's like slapping him because Chrome passed out in before their fight could happen because he got beat up really badly by, I think his name was Renko. No, not Renko. Magma. He got beat up by Magma. And so, Dr. Stone, the reason why he's trying to wake up Chrome so badly, he's like, hey, we can make the antibiotic by tomorrow, but you have to wake up now. And so Chrome immediately wakes up, and we go through a montage of the crew working together to finally make the antibiotic. And after 6 long months of hard work, they finally do. They have succeeded in creating an antibiotic to heal Ruri. And to Gen's surprise, Gen the mentalist, Senku makes one additional thing. He makes carbonated water. And he's shocked by this because it's like soda water. I forgot what the point of it was. There's a lot of things that Dr. Stone explains, and it's very confusing sometimes, so I just kind of gloss over it. But basically, we have succeeded in making the cure. And so, hold on, I'm going to go through my notes real fast. Oh, and Gen's also happy because he made one other thing. He made cola, because that's been Gen's whole thing. That's why Gen went from, oh man, I haven't read this in so long. I think it was Taiju. No, Taiju is his friend. It was the other guy, the muscle guy. It'll come back to me later. It will. But basically, that's why he went from the kingdom of like muscle to the kingdom of science, or whatever the other guy's team was called. Again, it's because I took a long break from reading it. That's why I was reviewing the One Piece movies and all this other stuff and playing Infamous. So I kind of put Dr. Stone in the background. Dr. Stone's back on the foreground. But so we give Ruri the medicine. And immediately as she takes some, Dr. Stone like tries to listen to her, like her stomach. It's kind of like when like a doctor used to like listen to your heartbeat. And it seems like the medicine made her even sicker. Like the whole village is like skeptical. They're like, why did you give her this? Because it made her sicker. And Senku can't come to a complete conclusion just yet until he sees like this dead mouse nearby. And the reason that the dead mouse is important is because the dead mouse is kind of near like where Ruri like sleeps or like houses. And so he experiments on this dead rat. He cuts it open. And there's a joke from Kohaku and Gen about eating the rat. And she's like, oh, I haven't eaten rats in a long time. It's just some stupid humor in the background. But as he dissects it, he realizes that the rat has red lungs. And he comes to the conclusion that the rat has tuberculosis. Now, Senku says, if this is tuberculosis, if that's what is making Ruri sick, there's nothing we can do for her in this time. There's no cure for tuberculosis in this current time period. And at that same moment, Ruri's symptoms get worse. Like, she gets even sicker. Like, she's about to collapse. And, I'm getting that wrong. So when I said that the village got angry, that the medicine made her sick, I kind of glossed over that too fast. It's after Dr. Stone experiments on the rat that Rory gets sicker, and the village like accuses Dr. Stone. They're like, your white powder magic, which was an antibiotic, it made her sicker. Whatever you gave her it's making her worse. And so I forgot how Dr. Stone comes to this conclusion. Let me see if I have it in my notes. Well, yeah, at some point, Dr. Stone realizes that the antibiotic is working, but it's not enough. She needs more. And the reason why is because she doesn't have tuberculosis. She has pneumonia, the common cold. Yes, back then in the early, what was it? I mean, even still to this day, you can die from the common cold if you have a weak immune system. Yeah, the common cold could kill you back in the day. And that's what's attacking her, pneumonia. So Senku believes that if you give her more antibiotics, she will heal. And the village is like skeptical. They're like, no, you're not giving her any more antibiotics. It's because of that white powder that she got even worse. We don't trust that. We don't trust that white magic or white powder magic or whatever they called it, enhanced magic. And Senku, hold on, let me check my notes. I just want to keep like kind of relevant. Oh, no, that's when Kohaku and the chief tries to go after Senku, and that's when the Kohaku steps in, and she blocks her father. She's like, hey, look, father, it's not magic. It's actually science. We have fully convinced Kohaku now to join the Kingdom of Science. She was already with the Kingdom of Science before, but now she's completely convinced. And she tells her father, it's not magic. This is science, and science is going to save Ruri's life. You have to trust him. I trust him. You trust me. Therefore, trust him. And so they give Ruri more antibiotics, and all of a sudden, this girl's back to normal. She is like, oh, I haven't felt this good in a long time. She starts running across the village, and there's some jokes between the group. They're like, oh, she's just like an ape, like, because like when Senku first met Kohaku, he called her an ape. So they're comparing the sister Ruri to being an ape like Kohaku. I'm gonna read my notes real fast because I think I know the rest of this. Oh, yeah. It wasn't just Kohaku that convinced the chief. It was the old man craftsman. It was Genro who got the... It was Genro. It was Kenro who needed the glasses. Suki, of course, who needed the glasses as well. Like, they have learned that, like, trusting Senku and his science, it's real. It exists. Like, this helps people. And so the chief allows him to give her more medicine. And seeing Ruri back to full health, he falls to his knees crying. He's so happy to see his daughter in full health. She has not been healthier in so long. And Senku even mentions, like, hey, you know, this whole time, Kohaku, when you were getting her that water, going back and forth every day, you were helping her. She couldn't do that on her own. She needed that hydration. Because even when you have the cold now, like I had over the last couple of days, your body gets dehydrated. So you need as much water as you can in your body constantly. And that's when, now that his daughter's well, the current chief officially declares Senku the chief of the village. Now, let me see. Okay, so yes, this is where the rest of it I know. So now that Ruri's better, she finally goes and confronts Dr. Stone and tells him the truth. She knows who Dr. Stone is because, and I think I theorized this in my video, the 100 Tales of the Shamanists, the 100 Tales of the Shamans or Shamanesses, something like that. The 100 Tales of the Village. The 100 Tales they pass down to each other. She says, Dr. Stone, your name is Senku Ishigami. I believe that's how you say it, like Shinigami with Ishigami. And so then the next chapter, we start learning about the 100 Tales. And it's even confirmed through Dr. Stone that, yes, because of these 100 Tales, the 100th tale, she knows who he is, or she knows in a way who he is. So we're given a flashback to Dr. Stone in his childhood. Remember when Dr. Stone, this is like probably my very first video about Dr. Stone, he had told his teacher as a kid, like, I'm going to go to space. And his teacher was like, you mean when you're an adult? And he's like, no, sooner than that. That's because when Dr. Stone was a kid, he was more obsessed with science than he was, like, playing with toys or playing video games. Like, at one point, as a kid, he was trying to evade the moon. You know, like if, like, a picture of eyes are looking at you, like, no matter which way you go, let's say you can't avoid it, like, the eyes are following you, even though that painting is just looking directly straight. Senku believed that the moon was following him, and his father joked that maybe the moon has a crush on you. And Senku, as a child in elementary school, is like, or nursing school, they say, he's like, no, father, I don't want you to tell me stories. I want you to tell me facts. And his father's like, well, the moon's not actually following you. The moon is just so big and far away, it looks like it's following you, but it's actually staying in place. And that was the start of Senku, like, being so, not obsessed, but like in love with science. And I remember in that backstory that we had saw, like, Senku's father had gave him like a chemistry set and money that he left. I thought that was so confusing and weird. And especially because this whole remaining arc or chapters are about Senku's father, and like he's like in this ambiguous light. Well, Senku's father had always wanted to be an astronaut, and I believe they say his name at the end. I'll get to that in a second. But his father had always wanted to be an astronaut. But he had failed the swimming part of the astronaut exam because, one, he got a Charlie horse. Two, he wasn't very good at swimming anyway. So Senku, over the years, as a kid to a teenager or to his current age, worked on like different science projects, always getting better. The kid was so dedicated to science, he was always getting better and better and better. And eventually, he experiments on this like dummy doll with like electric nodes, and he shocks different parts of the electric nodes, and it causes like the arms to move. Like, you know, like if a doctor like tests your reflexes, it was kind of like that, like the electricity would test your reflexes. So as a kid, he built his father this weird wetsuit with like the electric nodes on it, and his father's like, Senku, what's this for? And Senku's like, it's gonna help you learn to swim better. And so his father jumps in the water trying to swim, and as he starts failing, Senku randomly shocks him. He's like, what is this for? He was like, it's to help you. Sorry, that's a text message, guys. He's like, it's to help you not focus on, it's to help you, it's to help you get better at swimming, basically. Like, so when you mess up, your body's going to get shocked, and it's going to tell you, like, hey, you're doing something wrong, correct this. Well, 10 years pass. His father goes to retry for the astronaut exam or astronaut entrance exam, and they question him. They're like, your son built this suit? And he's like, yeah, my son did. And they're like, well, did it work? And his father's like, no. But even though it didn't work, my son is that dedicated to helping me. He is that dedicated to science, and that's what drove me to succeed, and that's what helped me pass. Like, he did pass the astronaut exam, and I think it says like 5 years later, his father was going on his first mission to space, and he gives his son like this like cheering speech. He's like, Senku, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have got here. And Senku, this is Senku in present day. Well, Senku present day 3,000 years ago before the event. And that's going to be important because the day that Senku's father went into space, 3 days later, that's when the light around the world turned everything to stone. And so back in present day, in the Stone Age time or Iron Age, I forgot what we called it, back in this present time, Ruri is telling him, your father was the founder of our village. And I have it in my notes, his father's name. Let me check real fast. Byakuya Ishigami. Yes. The biggest revelation at the end of this chapter, and that's why I didn't do like the whole 10 chapters. I cut it here because I thought this was a major revelation. Senku's father is the founder of that village. So that means after Senku's father went to space, 3 days later, maybe he found what happened out there. Maybe he was involved with what happened out there. But either way, he came back to Earth and he founded that village that Senku is now in. The village where Ruri is a shamanist and Kahaku lives and all these people. It is called Ishigami Village. It is Senku's basically home, his inheritance, basically. Now, if his father repopulated the earth, I have no fucking idea. Because that is another thing we do know, is that like these humans, they assume are either descendants from people of the rock that like hatched, like cracked early, or hatched, I'm not sure how we would say it, like broke out of the earth early, like 3,000 years ago, or they are like, maybe they are Ishigami, maybe they're like Senku's relatives, long distance relatives. I don't know. That's where I stopped. But I thought that was a major revelation. Like, That's mind-boggling. And like I said, I'm new to Dr. Stone. I've never read Dr. Stone before, so I'm very curious to find out what happens next. I'm going to be busting out these faster. The next video is probably going to be on Boruto. Then we're going to come back and finish our remaining 5 or so chapters for Dr. Stone. Then we'll go hop into 10 chapters of Demon Slayer, and then we'll be back to our regular videos. Hopefully by then I'm done with Infamous. The problem with Infamous is that I can only stream it on PS5. It doesn't have like a remaster like Prototype did. But I hope to have these videos out in sequence for you guys. And you know me, I'm popping out these videos fast. And then after that, we'll get back to the ranking, the One Piece movies. I just want to do everything in order as much as possible. And definitely before Netflix takes out those One Piece movies. Although it's only been less than a month, so probably not no time soon. Anyways, thanks for watching. And I'll see you guys next time. Hey guys, this video was sponsored by me, the author of the Shinry series, the Chronicles of Wayne, and Monsterverse. So I figured I'd do this outro a little bit different by showing you guys what you guys will be checking out. So, the Shinry series starts with Book 1, Shobu Samurai Project Aryoku. 10 years after the death of his parents, Shobu Samurai returns home seeking vengeance, but instead faces the choice to save his home from shadow creatures, blood beasts, and an organization once thought dead. Shinry's Shobu Samurai starts at $9.99. And if you love anime, manga, Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho, Fairy Tail, Shaman King, Rave Master, Zatch Bell, anything like that, the Shinry series is definitely the series for you. You'll definitely want to check it out. The Sword of Light is probably the thickest one so far. And then these books are 2. This is Enter the Dread Zone Tournament. And the series original ending, Arado, the Legendary Conjuring Master. So, and I'll just show you guys some of the covers. Really proud of all of these. But I hope you guys check it out. If you don't like that, I also have the current published books for the Chronicles of Wayne, Love Be Damned, Cotton Candy, Full Moons, Fabled Lovers, A Cursed Virgin's Bite. If You Go Where Monsters Dance, Red will Reign Over Your House. Love Be Damned. Now, the Chronicles of Wayne is about a geeky guy, or a nerdy guy in high school. His senior year, he has a crush on the hottest guy in school, because of course he does. He's only got one best friend, and her name is Barb. Well, the hottest guy in school turns out to be a werewolf. And to make the story more interesting, he bites Wayne and turns Wayne into the first ever wolfman in the last 10 years. And because of that, it was also a sacred law that wolfmen should never be created. I don't want to get into too much of the Chronicles of Wayne without spoiling it, but I can tell you it's very short. This one sells for $6.99, and Love Be Caged right after it. The ending of this trilogy, Love Be Liberated, comes out in October. So I'm going to definitely do a more full in-depth review of this one. But yeah, it's an LGBT fantasy fiction story about werewolves, vampires, white witches, a dark warlock, and, well, many, many more surprises to come. So if you guys like to read, I definitely recommend. These are all the books so far in the Shinry series, except for Shinry's Beginning. I do have that one, but it's just not here with me. But yeah, I appreciate a like, support, or just a review on Amazon. Either way, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.